music from?
Well, Sean, would you believe me if I told you I was getting my music out of a box with a crank on the front and a big speaker that looked like a flower on top of it?
Is that, what is that, a Victrola? Well, how do you say that word?
Yeah, that's a Victrola, and I'm just kidding. I get all my music from YouTube, just like a lot of other people. There's nothing like being able to see them play it while you're listening to it. And I found out with YouTube, like if you put an old song in, it'll bring that up, but then it'll bring the stuff on the right. You can see other people that's done versions of that song, and I'm starting to find out there's some remakes of some old songs that are better than the originals.
You are right. No, it is fascinating to see the original and then to see new people play the same thing. Yeah, it is. Music's fascinating. But Scott, can you give a little plug for the Facebook group that you're involved with?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Sean, for calling in. Thank you, Dave, for the repeater. And I'd like to invite everybody out there on the 575 to join the Facebook group, the Crowder's Mountain 575. I created it so all the usual listeners here on the repeater can have a place to message each other, and if something were to happen, it gives us a little back channel communication, a little place to get to know each other maybe a little bit better. Back to you, Net Control.
Maybe tomorrow people will share their Victrolas on the Crowder's 575 Facebook group. Can't wait to see that. But Scott, great to hear you tonight. Appreciate you checking in. And time to venture on to the next checker-inner. Go ahead.
Net Control. Net Control, check in WSKF 766. This is Donnie in Shelby, North Carolina.
Donnie, 766, Shelby, got you in there tonight? Well, I think you know the question. I'm going to try not to say it. What's your answer?
Well, here lately, I'm a big avid listener using the XM radio in my vehicles and on my Harley, but I got a shop and I use iHeartRadio. I plug it into one of my Bluetooth speakers out there and jam on that while I'm out there working in the shop. But I go back to the other guy, back to the 45s and all the scratchy noises you hear on the records, and then up to the 8-track, and then you go to the cassettes and the CDs, and then on up to other things. But most I just use iHeart or XM radio of that, and I listen to my favorite station is 106.9 gospel station. I listen to that a lot too. But I enjoy music. I love it. I sing at church too. So I love it. It's a pretty good thing to listen to.
Donnie, yeah, that sounds pretty cool, all that stuff. And yeah, I don't know. Music is interesting, in general. It's very fascinating how people can make all this noise and rhythm and harmony and all that stuff together. It's quite fascinating. Donnie, anything else you'd like to add?
No, not really. Just been sitting here listening in to all the guys checking in. I'd like to thank you all, and 73s to every one of you out there, and have a blessed night. And thank you for allowing me to check in and be a part of this. I greatly appreciate it, and I do enjoy it. I wish 73s on everybody out there today, and y'all have a blessed night. Thank you.
Donnie, appreciate all the kind words, and appreciate you checking in, because don't forget, without people checking in, wouldn't be much of a net. So, Donnie, good to hear you. All right, we'll go to the next check-in.
Net control. Net control, please check in. WSFA 965, Brian in Huntersville.
The 965 Brian in Huntersville got you in there, tonight in another Huntersville station, which I always like to acknowledge since I'm also in Huntersville. So, Brian, where do you get your music from? That's the topic for tonight.
Well, Sean, I get my music from a couple spots, but mostly I listen to the SX radio, the satellite radio in my truck, or at least I used to. Now I listen to, the radio, the real radio, GMRS ham. But I used to listen to satellite radio in the truck. But I tell you what, I work behind a computer sometimes for a few hours on projects, and I've got to where I really love putting on YouTube, digging up the old concert. I heard a couple other guys mention it here, and just rocking out to a concert while doing the work. I really got to where I like that a lot.
Yeah, and again, I agree. It's quite enjoyable to watch the music. It's always fascinated me because I'm not very musical at all. I love to listen to it, but I can't play an instrument, and then I can't even figure out how people.
Like that anymore. But Sean, glad to have you on the net. Have you back on the net, and always great hearing you, sir. WSFA 965.
And you're right, that Rubber Band Man, I don't know, there's something about that song, just the way they say it. It's just pretty groovy, right? It's just, I love when you see 4 or 5 adult men, 6'5", dancing all together in their leisure suits, sounding really cool, it's just pretty cool. And if you can't watch it, it's cool to hear it on the radio anyway. But, Brian, good to hear you. Appreciate you checking in. Next check-in.
Hello, girl.
All right, WRME 464, Mark Ellenborough. Where do you get your music from?
I get a lot of it from the YouTube as well, and but what I listen to, I have to pretty much use CDs because I like the real old stuff. I was born a generation too late. I like the dance bands of the 1930s and 40s, like Glenn Miller and Benny Goodman and Artie Shaw.
An old thing I got hooked on one time. What's the guy's name? His last name was it Nixon Cole? He have a daughter. Her last name is Cole. Does that ring a bell at all? He used to have a TV show, and it was in black and white. He'd smoke cigarettes and sing. Does that ring a bell at all?
I'm not sure about that one, but that would have been in that era.
And that was probably filmed in the 60s, I'd imagine. And I was watching it probably in the 80s. You know, there was reruns going on, and I thought that was kind of neat. Just simple stuff. Which I don't know why that reminds me of Carol Burnett. I'm hooked on Carol Burnett. Carol Burnett?
It's been a while, but she was quite popular in the day.
This antenna TV and, with an antenna. I get some channel out of Charlotte that's showing Carol Burnett every night at 11 o'clock. I shouldn't be staying up, but sometimes I like just to watch and get a kick out of the old Carol Burnett show. But, Mark, anything else you'd like to offer? Anything?
No, like the others, appreciate the running the net check-in faithfully, and I just appreciate what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate the kind words and appreciate you checking in, of course, and great to hear you tonight. We will now venture on to the next check-in. This is WRDW 480.
Net Control. Net Control, please check in WSDP 953, Whiskey Sierra Delta Papa 953. And Sean, I get my music from Spotify, Pandora, and Satellite Radio, depending on which vehicle I'm in at the time. And Amazon Music inside the house on the Alexa devices. Back to you, Net Control.
AJ, boy, you got a lot going on over there. I'm kind of overwhelmed with all your things you're naming. Not just one. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'm trying to think. Is that turning out to be a costly thing to have all that stuff going on?
Well, not really. Amazon Music is included with Amazon Prime, so it pays for itself. And the Satellite Radio, I pay like $7 a month, so that's less than $100 a year almost. And then Pandora and Spotify is free, as long as you have internet access. So yeah, I'm very frugal.
That's interesting. Hey, and I appreciate the breakdown. I didn't want to pry into finances, but after you tell me all those numbers, it sounds like a good deal. So yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even know Spotify and the other thing was free, whatever you said. But because I'm not up on all this stuff. I'm just I'm living back in the 80s. That's how I live. But KJ, anything else you'd like to add?
No, at first, Sean, I thought about just telling you I still get my music from 8-Track, but you wouldn't believe that. But yeah, that's about it. 73 to the net, WSDP 953 will be clear.
Let's talk of 8-Track. I think I saw 8-Track somewhere like a year ago. Might have been at Goodwill or a flea market, like a big. Everybody used to have a little suitcase of them they'd keep in their back seat. You open it up, there'd be like 20 of them all organized. And I looked at that. I couldn't stop looking at it like I wanted to buy it. I don't know why. I don't know how I walked away, because usually I like to buy that junk, but I didn't buy it. But anyways, again, KJ, good to hear you. Appreciate you checking in. Next checker-inner, tell me about where do you get your music?
Net Control, check in WRWA 651, John in Rock Hill.
Hey, John, 651 Rock Hill. Of course, I got you in here tonight because I can hear you. And, John, where are you getting your music from? That's tonight's topic, of course.
That's Roger. Yeah, I got a pickup truck that I have a CD player in with an AM/FM radio. So if I'm in that, I listen to that, and I do have CDs, and some of them are scratched and need to be thrown away and replaced, but I do have some. And then most of the time I listen to my phone and YouTube on my phone, and I just, plug it into my, with that little Soundcore stereo thing I got, and through Bluetooth, and it just plays whatever song I tell it to play. Other than that, that's about all I do as far as playing music. Sure enough, glad you're doing well, and appreciate everything y'all are doing, and Dave also. And I'm sitting back and listening.
Well, I can't let you go so easy. I got to get one more thing out of you. So you're driving down the road. Are you always playing music when you're driving down the road, or is it just kind of sometimes it's quiet, sometimes you're just listening to amateur radio stuff? How does it look when you're riding down the road? Is it always the same?
Well, basically, if I'm in the Crowder's Mountain footprint, I'll be listening to my little handheld Wuxen. But when I get out of the footprint, I turn on my regular radio and play my CDs and play my phone, plugged in through Bluetooth. So, yeah, that's about how I roll. Music all the time for sure, driving.
It's funny, when I drive around, I don't, a lot of times, I barely ever play music. I'm either talking on the phone, or daydreaming, or listening to amateur radio stuff, or GMRS, of course. And I remember a month or two ago, I turned the radio, I played some music, and I was like, wow, I might want to play some music a little more. It kind of felt good. John, I'll give you one more comment out of you.
Yeah, well, I hear you on driving around, and the one thing about it, and you can't be on the phone now in South Carolina anymore. They write you a ticket for that. And so here in the last probably 8 months, I've had to really put the phone down and not have it in my hand. Just use it through the radio, car phone, where you just leave the thing in the glove box. And if you need to talk on the phone, do it that way, and then play my music.
There. Oh no, I love the hands-free talk, and I never hold the phone in my hand when I'm talking. Probably because I got the luxury of the newer vehicle with all the whatever you call it, Bluetooth to the system and all that stuff. But anyway, John, good to hear you tonight. Appreciate you checking in. We'll go on to the next check-in. Tonight's topic: where do you get your music from? Very fascinating topic tonight. Said me. Next check-in.
Net Control checking in, WSKC 989 in Gastonia.
All right. WSKC 989 in Gastonia. Are you visiting in Gastonia tonight? I got you down here as some other place I can't even pronounce. Tell me about that quick.
Yep, I'm visiting Gastonia. I live in Swannanoa, North Carolina, which is in between Black Mountain and Asheville, North Carolina.
Gotcha there. And hey, thanks for giving me a visual of where your actual home base is. And I'm so glad you're visiting Gastonia tonight because you can check in on the net for sure. I can hear you loud and clear. Aaron, where do you get your music from?
Well, I have to say I really miss the Napster days. That's where I probably found most of the music that I listen to these days. But these days I listen to Spotify most, and when I find new music, a lot of times it's on social media. It's where I'll find people who haven't really made it big yet, and I like finding people who haven't made it big yet.
That's another thing I get a kick out of too. You know, you might see a father and his daughter doing some song and they sound amazing. You don't even know who they are, but it's just awesome. Just one example of people that haven't made it big, but they're just very talented. Yeah, I love calling that new talent, right? Or people that nobody's seen them before. I love seeing that stuff. Well, Aaron, anything else you got for tonight?
Yeah, I just want to share a couple things. One, from my little house in Swannanoa, I was able to receive portions of the Crowder's Mountain cast the other day, and that was really exciting. I heard two guys talking about an electric blanket. I'm just going to let the repeater cool for a sec. And then the other thing I wanted to share is that I was actually able to hit the repeater last night from the Blue Ridge Parkway up at the Lane Pinnacle Overlook, which puts it somewhere around 65, 70 miles, and that was just off a little HT. So thank you for running the net, and it's fun to talk to a new group of people.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. From home you could hear it. Also, the mountaintop stuff was pretty cool on a walkie-talkie. Hey, maybe you should look into, well, first check the line of sight, but maybe from your house, maybe you're a good candidate for one of those Yagi antennas. If you don't know what that is, it's a directional. You would point it right at Crowder's Mountain, and we might be able to hear you. What do you think?
I've already got plans in the works for it, and the nice thing about throwing a Yagi up pointed at Crowder's is it points at a couple other repeaters along the way for me. So, yep, it's in the works. It'll be a little bit of a slow process, but I appreciate the push to keep going on it.
Don't forget, you can really do it right, and you can get a rotator with a controller, so you can actually be in the house and turn it if you like. If you think it's going to be beneficial to you to have it turnable. Some people even put it up. People put it up on a pole, and they just go outside and manually turn it where they want to talk. There's a couple different options, but yeah, I look forward to hearing that project complete someday. But, Aaron, good to hear you tonight. Appreciate you checking in. Next one.
Net control, check in, WSIQ 344.
344, just confirm, did you say, well, I won't even guess. Can you say your letters again?
WSIQ 344, Brandon from Hendersonville, North Carolina.
I got you in there. Yeah, I know you said WSIQ, but when I heard it the first time, I heard all different kinds of letters, because I'm getting tired. But anyways, Brandon, where are you getting your music from?
if I'm driving my van or my car, I use Sirius most of the time, or Apple Music. I use Pandora. I don't really mess with FM radio because of the ads and all that stuff. Let's see. I don't really use Spotify. That's pretty much it, I guess.
You know, it sure is nice not to have ads on stuff, that's for sure. So let's, are you always listening to music when you're driving? I mean, is that how you like to live your life?
Well, yeah, it is. I travel a lot for work. I go from North Carolina to Georgia to Texas to Chicago, back to Texas to Colorado. So on them long hours, it's pretty nice to have the music jamming and, just staring at the highway.
Since you're talking about all that travel, have you ever thought about like doing something like maybe learn a language or something like that while you're driving? What do you think about that?
I would probably love to learn another language, but I don't think that I have the patience for it.
I just thought I'd throw that out there because I don't know, it just came to my mind, so I threw out what came on my mind. But, Brandon, good to hear you tonight. Of course, appreciate you checking in. Next check-in.
Net control. Please check in Danny WROP 717, Ellenboro.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
717, if you can hold on a second, I heard someone else coming in with you. The other GMRS enthusiast that came in with Danny 717, I'd like you to go first. Please recheck.
I'm assuming that you might be talking about me. Net control. This is Omar, WRKI 606 in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Omar, that was you. I was directing my directions to you. Thanks for coming back. Omar, where are you getting your music from?
I get my music from a couple of different places. One of them is Apple Music, another is Pandora, some is YouTube or Amazon Music, depending on which one has the good selection of music.
Omar, are you do you have a specific music, or are you all around musical feeling? Depends what you're in the mood for.
The nail on the head. It depends on what kind of music just feeling at the moment. And, I go with that. But mostly old school R&B.
Yep, got you there. And Omar, appreciate you checking in tonight. Great to hear you. And you reminded me when I was asking you, I reminded myself when I said when you're in the mood. And when it's raining out, I like to play Raindrops Are Falling on My Head. That's another cool song right there. But Omar, appreciate you checking in. Great to hear you. I'm going to go to 717 Danny in Ellenboro. Let's see what he's got to say. Danny, go ahead.
Hey, good evening to you, Sean, and everybody else on the net. I listen to music usually on the local broadcast station and also on YouTube. And that's pretty much it.
Danny, I can't let you get away that easy. I got to get something else out of you. So what are we listening to? Is it like one era, one type? Give us a little. What kind of music do you like?
I like pretty much everything except hip hop and rap. Don't like those. I'm a lover of blues and also bluegrass. So you can also throw some jazz in there. So I listen to just about anything.
Now, somebody mentioned earlier about they like listening to stuff back in the 30s, some kind of big band, orchestra type stuff, I believe. That's at least what I got from the comment. And I remember in the past, sometimes, I'm going to get back into that again too. It's kind of neat to listen to orchestra music when you try to really get deep into it and listen to each instrument as it plays. Try to pick out the different ones. I don't know. It's just kind of a game I play in my head. But Danny, anything else you'd like to add?
As always, Sean, thanks for calling the net. You are the greatest net caller ever. And we appreciate Dave and everyone else who helps keep this machine running. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the kind words. And yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I didn't have my ribeye tonight either. Can you believe there's been no ribeyes on sale for 2 weeks now? So I didn't get to have a ribeye. Instead, I had roast beef, closest thing. But Danny, good to hear you tonight. Appreciate you checking in. We'll go to the next one.
Net Control. Net Control, please check in WSJK 575, Jim in Denver.
Jim, Denver 575. Great call sign on the Crowder's Mountain 575. You should be the mascot, Jim. But, Jim, where are you getting your music from?
Well, I had a long time to think about it, and like a lot of folks, I'm getting on Spotify. We got the family plan. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it because I'm cheap. And I still got one of those old 5-disc carousel CD players in my shop. So I keep that stocked with all my old classics. I got the whole Yes catalog. And then we have one in our living room that we call the Christmas Music Machine, which is full of Christmas CDs. My wife's old player from the 90s. So CDs and Spotify.
Yeah, the old Christmas CD collection. My dad's got that. He's got the, my dad was really into music, listening to music, playing music. He's got all kinds of CDs and cassettes and albums, which, I don't think there's much I want to listen to, but anyways, just saying. But, Jim, anything else you'd like to offer?
No, that's it. Good topic, and I appreciate you calling the net. Thanks to Dave, and appreciate it, Sean. Doing a great job, and we'll have a good one. Good night to everybody. 73's WSJK 575, Jim in Denver.
Jim, well, thanks for participating. Great to hear you tonight. Appreciate you checking in. Next check-in. This is WRDW 480.
Net Control. Control, please check in WSFB 434. Robert over here in Packley.
Packlet. Of course, got you in here tonight because I'm responding to your check-in, so that means I can hear you. Robert, where do you get your music from?
Well, most of the time, in the morning, it's a radio station, 93.3. But any other time, it's usually Apple Music or YouTube.
In the morning, is that you're choosing an FM radio station? Is that because of a drive involved?
Not so much of it's a drive. Over the years, I've just, many years now, I've listened to that radio station in the morning. It's the Rise Guys Morning Show. It's just something I've listened to, so I listen to that, and if I can't get to the radio, I've got an Odyssey app that I'll stream it through. But if I'm other than that, it's usually Apple Music or YouTube.
That's another cool thing about all this streaming stuff, if I'm saying it right. I think most radio stations now have a way that you can listen to them on the internet. So that's pretty neat. If you end up moving, you can still listen to your hometown radio station no matter where you are. Would you agree to that statement, if you have any knowledge of that?
Yes, sir, I agree with you 100%. As long as your cell phone has service and you've got Wi-Fi, you can always stream most of your radio stations. A lot of them nowadays are having them. So that is correct, sir.
That's that's pretty cool stuff. But Robert Packlet, well, that's not your name. Robert in Packlet, appreciate you joining tonight. Great to hear you. We'll go on to the next check-in. Jamie Gaffney, got you in there tonight, and where are you getting your music?
I do have the paid Apple Music subscription. It's the only one I actually pay for. YouTube, a couple of other free streaming platforms, but then we have a lot of AM, FM receivers still sitting in random places, and I'm just as apt to take one of those off the shelf and do something in.
Sometimes it's like a little treasure hunt. Find an AM, FM radio, turn it on, see what you can tune in. Well, Jamie, anything else you'd like to offer?
Just appreciate everybody that provides for and takes care of the repeater and you for calling the nets. And one of my favorite nights of the week. So I just love being around.
That's funny. It's my favorite night of the week, too. Thursday night, 7:59 p.m. From now till the end of eternity. And, Jamie, great to hear you. Appreciate you checking in tonight. I guess it's time to go to the next check-in.
Net Control, please check in WSJF 368, Steve in Belmont.
Hey, 368, Steve, Belmont. There's one more time. You know, there's a W, because everybody does.
WSJF.
WSJF 368 Steve in Belmont. Is this the first time checking in on the Crowder's Mountain 7? Yeah. Is this the first time you checked in?
Yes, sir, Net Control, it would be.
Steve, well, fantastic, and welcome to the Crowder's Mountain 575 GMRS Enthusiast Net. Well, first, welcome to the repeater, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You just happen to be on the net tonight, which is every Thursday night. Good to hear you tonight. And, Steve, tonight's topic is, where do you get your music?
Mostly from about 5 decades worth of vinyl, and then the CDs has been ripped off onto discs that I use in the RV and our vehicle when we're traveling. And then the rest of the time it's usually FM over the internet or live music.
You said live music. What do you mean by live music? Like actual going to see live music?
Yeah, since my wife and I retired, that's one of the things that we've been doing. We've been dealing in beach music for probably 3 decades, maybe closer to 4 decades now. So we travel the Southeast and photography work for airlines and a lot we're close to 200 shows a year traveling.
Well, wow. Well, gee, this topic tonight kind of fits you for sure. That's very interesting. How often do you do in motorhome?
We're still in a Queen here that's 24 years old, a 40-foot tag axle Monaco Dynasty. They don't build them like this anymore, but she runs just as good as a Prevost.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's very interesting, Steve. Very interesting indeed. And Steve, great to hear you tonight. Look forward to hearing you again sometime soon. If not, at least next Thursday night, 7:59 p.m. Or, within a couple hours after. The net seems to go on at least a couple hours every week, so you got plenty of time to check in. No excuse to miss it. Unless you're traveling to some beach. We'll let it slide. But Steve, good to hear you. Welcome again. Appreciate you checking in. Next check-in. Do one more call for check-ins, then I got something else up my sleeve. Well, I got short sleeves on. But anyways, any other check-ins?
Net Control, this is a recheck. This is Jay from Gastonia. Just wanted to offer a clarification. I'm unsure if it was a poor transmission or I misspoke. The call sign is Whiskey Sierra Kilo Delta 237.
Let me confirm. Whiskey, Sierra, Kilo, Delta.
10-4, yes, sir.
Well, that's a very common thing to switch a couple letters. That's what the phonetics works out. Yeah, sorry I didn't hear it the right way. And thanks for the recheck. I appreciate that clarification, of course, for bookkeeping reasons. Any other check-ins? I'm gonna do something real quick. Sid, Huntersville. Are you still out there available for transceiving? Just for a moment. I heard from Sid, so now I'm going to open it up. Anybody have any comments, questions, announcements? Feel free. Call Net Control. I will acknowledge you, and we will converse.
WSIQ 344. I just wanted to thank you for running the net, and I've enjoyed listening to y'all tonight.
And appreciate that very much. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And again, appreciate you checking in tonight. You know, with everybody checking in, it makes it all worthwhile and makes it a great net. Any other comments? Feel free. Call Net Control.
Net Control?
Go ahead.
This is WSKC 989. If anyone ever finds themselves over in the Swannanoa, Asheville, Black Mountain, Fairview area, especially on a Sunday night, please check out the Flat Top repeater. We have a Facebook group, Flat Top 600 GMRS, and we do a net on Sunday nights at 8. We'd love to have you.
Aaron, you know, I heard about that, and I was gonna put it in I was gonna program it, see if I could make it with my laser beam, and of course I wrote it on some piece of paper, who knows where it is. Now I got a big piece of paper. Could you, do you have it handy to tell me all the particulars, the frequency and the tone?
I don't have it handy. I know it's 600, but I'm not 100% sure the tone. But if you put in Flat Top repeater into Facebook, you'll find it there. I should know the name.
Oh, right. About what you said, you gave me a lead. Yeah, somewhere. And yeah, it's very interesting that there's a net tonight at 8 o'clock because, well, I'm sure you've checked in on it. Do you know how long it lasts?
Well, I'm actually I've been roped into being net control for it. We've only had one so far, and it only lasted 20 minutes. But we're hoping that it grows larger and larger.
Excited to hear that you're in net control for it, and that's pretty awesome. And, you know, when you do a net, as long as you get one check-in, it's successful. When nobody shows up, not so good. But one's enough. And, yeah, I was just wondering, the reason why I asked how long it's been on is because I gotta look at my schedule again to see. I don't know if I'm going to be around at 8 o'clock this Sunday night. But if I am, I'm going to program in the radio because I find that during the net is the best time to see if you can receive a repeater that might be far away. Because there'll be people constantly talking for a certain amount of time. And that's when I love to aim my laser beam across the United States to see what GMRS repeaters I can reach.
When you get your laser beam, me, So hopefully you can grab a pen. It's 462.600 standard 5 offset and tone is 7. So again, that's 462.600 standard 5 offset, and our tone is 156.7. Thank you so much.
I've been hitting the flat top from multiple locations. I drive all over western North Carolina working, and that's a pretty big boy.
In a couple weeks here, we're going to be upgrading the antenna and getting it another 30 feet up in the air and higher gain, larger antenna as well. So hopefully it'll make it even better.
SWSKF 766. Would you repeat that again there, brother? I'd like to put that on my pad I got here.
Yep, it's 462.600 standard 5 offset, and our exposure is 56. Again, that's 462.600 standard 5 offset, and our tone is 156.7.
Okay, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you much, brother.
I drove out from Hendersonville to Silva Wednesday, and yesterday, and I hit it from Hendersonville all the way to, I think I was a little past Canton, almost into Waynesville, with just some handhelds.
Are you 779?
No, sir. I'm WSIQ 344. I'm Brandon from Hendersonville.
Gotcha. Well, it wasn't me that we were talking, but I was talking to someone else last night. Thought it might have been you. Net Control, it's all you. Thank you for letting me chat about our repeater.
Aaron, anytime, and from now on, whenever you check in, even if I'm Net Control, you can maybe ask permission, but I don't care if you do it, but you can announce your repeater and your net if nobody else does. Yeah, that's pretty exciting stuff. I can't wait to try it, because I heard about it a while back, and I didn't get a chance to try to see if I can hit the repeater, but I'm going to try sooner than later. So thanks again for that info. Since I got it keyed up, I better do my duty, and is there any other check-in? Nothing for check-in, so I guess I'm going to close the net. I really appreciate everyone joining tonight, and I'm going to actually, in a few minutes, I'm going to see if I can reach that flat-top mountain, because I'm in the mood. I've been talking on the radio for 2 hours. What else should I do now is talk on the radio some more. So appreciate everyone joining tonight. Thanks a lot, Dave, again, WQQF 940, who provides us all with this fantastic repeater. And thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great night, great week. Hope to talk to you soon. This is WRDW 480, Sean in Huntersville. The repeater's back to normal, licensed GMRS proper use. Take care.